Here we are. Stefanos, come on in. Ooh, playing games now, eh?
What's going on?
Remember, guys, this is not legal advice, only for entertainment purposes only.
Don't
Strict
believe that.
responsibility and all that
It's
shit.
just my opinion and truth. Don't listen to that disclaimer.
Cheers.
Cheers. You're
Clink.
at the outside. You're making me go at the outside and be on the inside.
There, if you're gonna stop your bitching.
Ugh.
Let it
There,
out.
that's more like it. You had me all discombobulated. You had me. Oh, you're still gonna make me go to the outside.
Cheers.
There's one for Hashem in the highlight reel.
Oh, we got comments already. All
Ah,
right, guys. Yeah. We're getting heavily shadow banned. People don't want the elite pedophiles slash criminals slash traitors do not want the truth to get out. That's why we're
slash politicians.
That's why we're so heavily shadow banned. I heard they're messing things up in Alberta now.
Oh, are they? What are they doing?
Apparently, there's some kind of Canada first or Canada only or all
Oh, is
Canada.
that the ones with remigration? I think it is.
Well, they're influencers and they're starting to talk out of their ass like most liberals, communists, and they're pushing to stay in Canada and they're gonna push that narrative because the criminals in Ottawa need their money.
Oh wait, no, that it's not the ones I said. My apologies. I don't know which one that is, Ed. I haven't heard about that one. I don't think, but I've been really busy, so I haven't really been on much or doing much of anything except my nose stuck in paperwork.
It's gonna get interesting with this should they stay or should they go kind of thing. It's gonna be like a Brexit.
Well, Ford is. Are you talking about stay or go? As in what? Like, are you talking these?
Separate from Canada for Alberta. They want to
Oh,
separate.
yeah. I hope they do. I hope they do.
Well, yeah. See, now you're starting to talk like a Nazi.
Oh, me and Nazi? Damn.
That's what they say. If you support separating Alberta, separating from Canada, that makes you a Nazi, according to these fucking lying bastards
Well,
from Ottawa.
these people. That's because they don't know the Constitution. And Canada was really only three provinces, and everyone joined. And if you actually go through the Constitution, I'm not talking the Charter people, because the Charter is just a section of the Constitution. All right, that's not our Constitution. So if you look at the Constitution, you'll see, you got the division of powers and stuff like that, but you'll see every province has that joined in with Canada um, and created Canada. They have their own set of rules. This is why you can have private health care in Quebec, but when they tried to do that in BC, it was shot down. So you see, it's they run on different laws also. So the Quebec is on the lower law Canada, which is Roman code, uh, Marxism. So that's why you see Quebec being all fucked up like it is. But yeah, that's people need to know all the different stuffs, and this is why Alberta didn't fall under the scam stuff with Trudeau saying about the hotels, the convict hotels being forced in there under the law. Remember the mother and daughter helped out at that and put it in, and the judge was not about to go there on anything and done the right thing and said, "Are we still doing these?" and just threw it straight out because it didn't apply. So it really there's just so many laws. Nobody can know them all. I only know some, not very much, but I know the more important stuff.
So also, I heard that in Quebec they're going to be banning all religious symbols if you're in any government way, employed by the government in a government building, government libraries, government schools. No more hijabs, no more crosses. I think even the little skull caps are going to be banned.
Well, and there you go, and that's like I said, they run on we're on the upper law, they're on the lower law.
Anyways, tonight's show, guys, you want to share this one out? We're going to get into Do you really think you're hiring a lawyer?
Oh God. Okay.
Oh God. Oh yeah. Let's get
So,
into it.
all right. This will be fun times, guys. So you see all these ads on Facebook, this firm, that firm, the other firm. I would highly recommend that you do not click on any of those ads and do not contact them, regardless if they are legit or not, because the majority of them are not. They're scam law firms. So it was a gentleman who was under the impression there was a lawsuit with law enforcement, and law enforcement had settled for like a 1.5 million, but that wasn't the case. And he was wondering where his payout was because he was supposed to get paid in a couple of days. And I'm thinking, this isn't possible because there's a criminal proceeding on its way also. So I'm like, there's there's no way law enforcement is going to ever settle with anybody um, while a criminal proceeding is going on. And there was a wasn't even a lawsuit launched, I should kind of say. And we had our suspicions. You have to be careful here. We had our suspicions, and we started digging in. And I had actually sent them a text message. Let me wait. No, I'm not going to go there yet. I'm going to get too far ahead. I'm going to tell you some important things. So these guys are like, okay, we need 2,500 to start right away. You never, ever, ever are going to be asked by a lawyer for money to be sent to them without signing a retainer, without even meeting them in person. You've never seen them. You don't know who the hell you're talking to. Never, 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 never. They will promise you the world. Just don't fall for it. Desperate people fall for this stuff because they're desperate and they want to see things. And thank God we intervened here and stopped this because, my goodness. And this was a supposed U.S. Canada law firm, and they were putting themselves out there as, I think it was Gregora's Law or something like that, but they were putting themselves out there as being the attorney for the stars, and they had represented Willie Nelson and all of this garbage. Might have been true, but it wasn't those guys. These were scammers posing as that, and they actually put advertisements on Facebook, and this is how they were found. I even went onto the website myself and looked at their supposed lawyers, and they had like five lawyers in total. Four were males, all American, uh, and it was pretty funny because I checked all of them in the Law Society. None of them are lawyer. They even got the actual lawyer who did represent Willie Nelson wrong. They used a different name. And then later on, as more pressure started coming onto them, they started altering their story, saying that they were the brother of this lawyer and that they had a falling out. So his brother took all the celebrities and he took all the normal people. So, fuck. So as things progressed here, there was one female lawyer, um, and she was so. There's a lady out there in Ontario. Beware, because scammers have your photo, and they have you up there as being one of their lawyers. She's a criminal lawyer, and she's licensed by the Law Society in Ontario. That was the only lawyer I could find licensed. And I'm not going to say she was scamming by any way, shape, or form, because I can look up any lawyer. I can find their pictures online. I can take their pictures. I can make my own scam website. I can put my own scam ad on Facebook, and away I go. But I was also a victim of that kind of a scam. Not that I hired the lawyer, but I got a call from a construction company one day asking me, telling me, asking if they could get their money back because they had sent me a substantial amount of money for the trial period. And the trial period was over, and they did not want to stay with me. So apparently, there's a trial period, and you get your money back at the end of the trial period if you weren't satisfied. So I just flat out told them, sorry, but one, I don't charge money. I don't have a law firm. I'm not licensed, and that's it. I help people out if they need it, but I don't do anything like that. And so I just told them flat out that they've been scammed. And then I called the law enforcement, and I let them know. I let them know the company. I let them know that I'm the subject and stuff. So you have to be really careful. These scammers are crafty idiots, and I call them crafty idiots because when I actually ended up calling them, uh, I got this recording of a with a British accent, and they're like, okay, no law firm will ever have a recording like this ever. So the recording went, all of our lawyers are busy doing combat right now in the courts and or giving depositions. But if this is an emergency, you can text this very same number and somebody will get to you. So I ended up texting a number. That number, I won't say because I don't want to expose the person's name. I want to keep this quiet. But I sent a message saying, well, there was a partial victory for your client today in the courts and having criminal charges dropped. Do you have any comment? And of course, I've never ever gotten a comment. And they called up the target, the victim of the scam, at, your lawyers are not going to call you at 11:30 or 12, midnight. They won't do that, but that's when they always call him. And makes sense to me why at that time. But they called him and started screaming at him, how dare you get the media involved, and all of this shit. And I'm laughing because after he told me this, I'm like, what lawyer doesn't like media coverage? They don't give a shit if it's bad or good. It's exposure for them. They soak this shit up. They love media coverage. So I was oh God. So just don't click any ads that you see for lawyers. Make sure you research them. Call them up, meet them in person. Make sure everything's on the up and up. Check if they are the same people that the Law Society. That's a good one, Justin. Yeah, that's right. Oh God, that's it too. So these people ended up getting taken for 5,000. And at that point, I knew when he told me that they freaked out and everything. I knew that's right, Hashem. They're punching out. I guess whatever side punches the other side and knocks them all out wins the case. But hey, Bam Bam, what's up, brother? So so what they ended up doing was this kind of stuff. Like within a week or two, they were like, okay, there is a settlement here. Law enforcement settled at 1.5 million, and there's no NDAs. This is like highly irregular. So we ended up going to a court date he had, and he still has no representation. I told him that if worst comes to worst, that I'll represent him. It's not the first time I've done these types of cases, so I'm good at that. And we met with duty council, and I told duty council, let's go in a private room. So we all went in there, and then I started pointing out stuff. So if there's a civil lawsuit, people, okay, your court file number in Ontario is going to start with CV. Always remember that. And then the year. So um, in this case, there was nothing. It was CC shit. Should I even be saying this? I might be giving these scammers and fraudsters tips on how to make people believe it more. Shit. I can't hear you, Ed. You're muted.
Well, scammers and fraudsters do watch the show. We know RCMP watches. We know CISA's watches. So there's your scammers and fraudsters right there, along with the politicians that are all scammers and fraudsters. We know they watch from time to time.
Yeah, they're the biggest scammers and watchers are fraudsters. But so the funny thing was, so I'm talking with them, and I'm like, the whole layout was wrong. The color was wrong of the ink. Like everything was just wrong. And duty council suggested that he should get a real lawyer. I got him lawyers, so anytime he wants to use it, I'll give it to him. And um,
But the guy's out what, $6,000?
$5,000. And this is the other tip I'm going to give you all. If you're with a lawyer and you get a settlement signed or whatever, and you decide to settle, or even if you win or lose the case, the law firm is not going to charge you closing the case fee, as these guys did. They said $2,500 for closing the case. It's done. We got to close it out. So that'll never happen. Hey, bro. Happy Thursday, brother. Love you, man. Hope to see you soon. And well, you know what? I never saw one of their bills, so Lord only knows what the hell they got as a bill, but it was all e-transfer. So you never e-transfer like that. You know, make sure you meet the lawyers before any money exchanges hand. Make sure there's a retainer signed. Make sure you read the retainers, because lawyers are crafty wordsmiths, and they put a lot of bullshit in retainers that make you believe different and then screw you. And I'll give you a good example. Traffic court. If you have signed a retainer with a paralegal or a lawyer and you're in traffic court, and they'll say in there, we charge $500. We'll take care of the whole case if we get you a favorable decision. And people will think, oh, shit, yeah, this guy's good. So if I don't win, I don't pay. No, sorry. A favorable decision would be a lesser fine, a reduction in points. Maybe you're up on multiple tickets and they get rid of a couple. All of these things are favorable. So, hi, Donna. They're all favorable. So be careful. Make sure you pay close attention to your retainer agreements. Oh, God. So it's these things can be like really damaging. The guy's wife, I believe, was ready to quit her job. She thought she wouldn't have to work anymore. She was all set to go. And do you imagine if that would have happened? That would have been totally horrible. Ed, you got any questions yet? You got that look about you.
From the chat, no, but I'm thinking in the background, okay, if I've never hired a lawyer, where do you start? How do you quantify these guys? How do you is there some place you can look up? Can you see if they've won anything? And then how do you make sure they are who they say they are? And that's obviously how this guy fell in, because he trusted these people on a Facebook ad or something and seemed legit. And the guy forked over $5,000, and now that's gone and they're gone.
Yeah, so the whole point here is if you get a lawyer, you're going to search a lawyer. Use the internet. Don't do Facebook freaking ads. Those are, like 90% of the time are fraudsters. Don't do it. You're going to get scammed. So just avoid Facebook ads altogether. And so what ends up happening is, look up different law firms in your area, stuff like that. Um, go see the address, make an appointment, go see them. You're going to speak with them. All of them are going to have, uh, you know, law society number. Um, they're going to be like credible. You will see they usually have their letters patent up on the wall behind them, uh, from the law society. Then, if that's still not enough for you, go to the law society website. Uh, Actually, here, Ed, let's give these people a little instruction stuff. So,
You're gonna put this in private chat.
yeah, I'll send you the link in private chat. Oh, God, here we go. So,
Nothing yet.
no, I haven't put her there yet. So,
So as usual, it's buyer beware, eh?
always buyer beware. Always, always. You gotta do the right thing, because if not, you're going to end up coming up with something that's not good. So, all right, here we go. Where are we? There you are. Private, 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 private. There we are. Okay, there's your link.
All right, I'll open this. Okay. I'm gonna share screen this. And here it comes.
Yeah, Justin, I'm just kind of giggling at that comment. Could you imagine? Fuck. Oh my God. So, and at the Law Society directory here, you can either choose a lawyer or a paralegal when you're looking, or you can find. So this is another way you can find a way of doing it, and you'll see it'll tell you below if you're looking for both lawyers and paralegals, or only lawyers or only paralegals, or if you have a name, you can punch in their name, or you can punch in their law society number if you know them, the city, the town, whatever. But at least if you have the name, you can throw it in there, and then you can hit search, and it will give you their contact information. And it'll also tell you if there are any disciplinary actions against them or anything like that. And, uh, you know, nope, you're wrong there, Ed. Are they even licensed, and do they live in Ontario? If they're in Ontario, then this will come up. If they're not in Ontario, it won't come up here. No, he rescinded his license himself. He had to go to court to get out of that. There you go. There you go. So there's Rocco's. That's his L1. It means a licensed lawyer. He's in private practice. He's got his name. Tells you the address where he's at. Uh, yeah, tells you what they do and everything. Sure. Tells you if they do in French. There's their law society number and what kind of services they provide. it puts all of the information there. Uh, so so there you go. Um, you have that kind of stuff. Uh, that's how you're going to find out if they're a real lawyer or not. And this is some of the things that you may like. So there you go, Ed. Actually, put that up. Nope, down a little. Stop. Oh, up. Just a tad. There you go. So you'll see regulatory proceedings, Law Society Tribunal, none. Regulatory proceedings, courts, none.
So that's if they've been naughty lawyers, that'll show up there if they've had some convictions against them or something, or what?
Yes, yes. So that'll show you what disciplinary actions have been done. You know, there's a lot of different things the Law Society does to them. And funny thing is, if they're under a disciplinary action, they have to have a recording on their answering machine that actually says what they've done. So not only do you get screwed over, but they make you humiliate yourself too on top of it. I just find that a little funny. But anyways, don't mind me. So this is how you would do it. Make sure you go to Law Society in Ontario. You pop them through there, because if you don't, you can lucky it was only 5,000. That's all I'm going to say about this guy. Poor guy. But you have to be very careful. And then once the money is e-transferred, it's like gone. It's like gone. And let me see.
Give me the name of a lawyer that's not so good.
No, I won't do that.
Just to add a random name.
I don't know any lawyers that are not good or random names.
Postal code for questionable lawyer?
I would not know them.
Really?
Yeah, I have no questionable lawyers. They're all good guys that I mess with.
Really?
Well, one questionable guy.
What's his name?
It doesn't matter what his name is.
You don't want to get it.
I'm not doing anything, all right? So Hashem's got a whole shitload of questionable lawyers. That's all I'm going to say. So as the story went, after court, we took the advice of the duty counsel, and we went and put a complaint of fraud in to law enforcement. Law enforcement turns around and they tell us that, well, we're sorry, your money's gone. There's like, the money is gone. They told us when they do go along and all the transfers happen, when law enforcement tracks it down, they said that that money ends up in South Asia. So that's what's going on right now. There's a huge, they said there was suddenly an explosion of lawyer frauds going on now. So this is a lawyer scam. And unfortunately, Facebook, any social media platform advertising, just don't do it. That's your best way. Just do it how we just showed you how to do it. That's how you're going to do it. Make sure you meet in person. Do all that good stuff. And and not only that, but so the same scam company, fraudster, not a company, the same scam lawyers turned around now. They've deleted the fake website. They've got a brand new ad. So just so you're aware, they've used the same number. So here,
Same phone number.
Yeah, here, Ed. I'm gonna dial it and have a listen.
Thanks for calling GLG and Jones Day Law. Let's get you directed immediately. Press 1 if you are an existing client or calling about an active case. Press 2 if you are looking to retain our firm for a new matter. For all other inquiries, please hold. Thank you.
So these guys, it's 8:35 p.m. Eastern time, and they're still open. Imagine that. Imagine that. They're going to direct you to the right. So, guys, this is a straight up scam. They're going to direct your call to a new lawyer or some bullshit. So they went from Gregoris Law to GLG something or another day law. So these guys are just changing the names. You'll see there's a Facebook ad that'll pop up. You'll see all these ads advertised everywhere. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. These are scammers, straight up scams. And you know what, Ed? The funny thing is, they use the same British voice. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm going to need a few of these after this. So just, you got to be real careful, guys. There's just like there's a whole shitload of names. Yeah, but we don't know if, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that with Hishem. I won't even put it up. But yeah, so this is the insanity of this stuff. You got to be so careful getting lawyers, because lawyers already got a bad name all the time for whatever reason, because there's always a shyster in there somewhere screwing somebody over in some way, shape, or form. So they got a bad enough reputation. Nobody trusts them. And then you got fraudsters like this. And remember, there's a huge explosion in lawyer fraud right now. And don't forget, lawyers also got a bad name for mortgage lawyer land fraud that's been going on. And that's real lawyers pulling this shit off. So it was a husband and wife team. Anyways, some in the millions, something like 20 customers or whatever you want to call them, homeowners. And the judge gave them 30 days each in jail for contempt of court. And then, one's going to do it first, then the other. I guess the law firm can keep going.
So did Martin ever get his family farm back?
No, not that I'm aware of. He's still got the fight going on. And we need to take Terranet down. The Ontario Provincial Land Registry is unlawful. That needs to go away and be put back to the land registry, back to the people's hands. It's the people's information. And to begin with, that's the monarchy's land registry, and that's how it should have stayed. It cannot be privatized. So I believe it was Andrea Horvath, that nasty mayor of Hamilton, went to Alberta and tried to pull the same bullshit over there. Alberta kicked her the fuck out because it's illegal what they're trying to do with Terranet. So this is a big problem. That system needs to go away. Oh yeah, we're talking big money too, Ed. We're not talking a little money, because they give access to your property and all your information worldwide. And this was from a fraudster who became a senator. He's a senator now, and he's a fraudster. And he started all of this stuff. And he's from Saudi Arabia. He's a Saudi. Big fraud, this whole Terranet thing. And
he's the senator in the Canadian Senate?
You absolutely are. And when they made him a senator, if you would have seen the video of him, what a smug, cocky, arrogant piece of garbage he is. But really bad, really bad. And it was all on a fraud. Terranet owes the Ontario government hundreds of millions of dollars they haven't paid up. And what they're doing is land developers and everything are using the system and have all available information. They know where what's going to be developed where, and they're buying all the properties up as much as they can so they can develop and make money. So they are scoping your land out.
Let them scope. Mine's free and clear. No mortgages. What are they going to do?
Who knows? Friends are friends of friends, and when you got friends in high places, it's another problem. So to be careful. It's crazy.
Anyways, remember when Kevin was getting kidnapped? It seemed like almost every day.
Yeah, back there in Alberta, I believe it was.
Yep. So what was the process you would go through to try to find him a good lawyer?
Me, I'm already know some good criminal lawyers if it's criminal, and
But he was in Alberta. It's a different jurisdiction, right? Different lawyers.
right. So I'm not sure on the Alberta stuff. I can't speak for that. I know I couldn't help him on that because I didn't know any. I researched over the internet, but I've noticed that Alberta, I couldn't find too many lawyers, and I've looked for a lot of people. It seems there's a massive shortage of lawyers over there, and the ones that are over there are all for the state, so they're not really willing to defend the average person. So it's quite the different atmosphere, just a whole different, I don't know what to call it, but
So what, the government gives them a retainer and then it's conflict of interest, so they can't represent you.
yeah, but they're all for the state. So if you have a problem, any type of conflict with the state, you have one hell of a time trying to find a law firm or a lawyer to even take the case. It was so hard for me. I don't know. Let me see.
Hey, maybe that's the lawyer calling you back.
Might be a fucking lawyer. Hold on.
Anybody good at lip reading? What's he saying?
I said, hell no, I ain't paying. So let's see. So the Law Society has the Law Society of Alberta, and they actually have, and I'll throw that up for you in the private chat. I don't know if you want to bring it up, but it's basically the same as the Law Society of Ontario. And they have the lawyer directory. So you can click in there. So practicing status. So this is a little bit different. This one here shows you can get a practicing status, practicing, non-practicing, suspended, or former. So, but you know, they're more left wing. They got the gender-based stuff in there. Trans, another gender not listed, non-binary. I've never heard of a gender called another gender not listed. So I don't even know what the fuck you would put that under.
Oh, if you want to make up a gender. I
Yeah,
think that's what furries fall under.
The furries?
I think furries might fall under that.
Ah, okay. So then they have another spot, which I kind of like this because they give the practice area. Actually, I like their directory better. Less the gender part, but I like the directory better. If I would have known about this or thought about looking back then, I probably would have done a little bit easier, but no, Hashem, it wasn't a law firm that called. It was just, I was having fun. I just said I ain't paying, that's all.
I gotta close the door. Mosquitoes are coming in. Thanks, Bubba.
We should be able to do combat. We should have you on camera doing combat with a mosquito. Get it? Along the Ed Jamnisek is doing combat for your protection with mosquitoes in the other room. Huh? Huh? Except with a British accent. That might work.
You want me to do combat with a British accent? Well, I might be able to help you there, laddie, but I think I sound more like from Wales.
Yeah, I think there was a right. I'll do you for that, you bloody bastard.
Now, if I'm from Liverpool, I gotta have a more of a East Indian accent, my mister.
I can't do anything, all right? I'm horrible at accents.
Something similar to what they speak in Bangladesh. Anyways, so what else should people look for when they're trying to find a decent lawyer?
Well, that about covers it. Just know when you're looking for a lawyer, also make sure you're looking for a lawyer in the area of law that you're looking for. Don't go and get a corporate lawyer to try to represent you in a criminal case. That's a recipe for disaster. So yeah, it's if you go back to the page before you had just
Hang on, I'm looking if there's anything for Kevin here.
Oh, does Kevin still need a lawyer over there? God, I thought he was done with all that stuff.
No, I don't know. I think it's still ongoing.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I haven't talked to him in years, so I have no clue. Does he need civil or does he need criminal?
Criminal.
Yeah, young offender. He needs young offender. Why do they have traffic offenses under criminal? What the fuck? Okay, go back. Go back to the previous page. Yeah. See, it says visit lawyer directory. Click on that. Did you click it?
Hang on, yeah.
Hey, Kevin, the other Kevin, not the Kevin we were just talking about.
No Johnson. Who's that guy that gets nailing everybody? Johnson, or it's not with a T, it's just Jonson?
Who's that?
The Crown usually hires him to prosecute everybody during COVID, remember?
Oh, Christ, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to those guys. If I was on the other side, I just took care of business and left, and that was that for that. They were really short court appearances.
Trans.
Did you click on it? Because we're not seeing all of this stuff. When you click visit lawyer directory, we're not seeing the stuff on the screen.
Oh, you know what? It went to another page. That's why.
Ah, okay. No, it's not that you're not. It's a good thing we weren't talking about you, Kevin, because it would have been you're on the other end of the spectrum, and you don't want to be at that spectrum.
So find a lawyer page is what you want.
Yeah, you want to find a lawyer page, and when you click on that, I like that layout they got there. Less the gender stuff. And yeah, it's actually laid out pretty good because, you know, if you're looking to find a company, it looks like they have practice areas at the bottom. So you have what you need there: tax, real estate. Well, tax. Let's see. Does Kevin's name come up? No. So if you click on tax, it'll give you search results. You'll scroll down and it'll show you a whole alphabetical order list of lawyers, and it tells you male, female, whatever. Other ones have nothing, but they'll tell you practicing, non-practicing. So, and this is a good example, actually, Ed. If you go to tax, you'll see there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only 10 fucking lawyers. So this is what I mean. It's like Alberta has a massive shortage of lawyers. It's like it's at the very bottom drop box. Ed, drop in, go to scroll to the bottom of it and drop in tax, and you'll see.
Drop in what?
You click the drop box and click on tax. Well, they got more than that. Sorry, my mistake. There's 14 pages, so they got 14 pages of lawyers, but it's still like a small amount. I just hadn't scrolled to the bottom enough, but yeah, it seems like there's not that many lawyers. At least maybe there is, but I couldn't find many lawyers of the type that was needed at the time. So it's a little bit different.
That's all you got.
But if you go criminal, there's a shitload of criminal lawyers. There's 36 pages, so you got tons of criminal lawyers, and they'll tell you their enrollment date. So you'll see there's one law firm, the very first one. If in criminal, they've been practicing since, looks like 1977. So they're an old law firm and would have a whole shitload of experience behind them. So that would be a law firm that I would probably more than likely look up if I needed them. And if you click on the firm, it'll tell you their contact, their number, their address, and they have proceeding history prior to January 1st, 2015. If there's any, you can click to get a law report, but they got no disciplinary history, no notice reports, nothing like that. So it seems to me like Alberta has a much more efficient, a much better system for finding law firms, for lawyers, and even the history of their proceedings. So kudos to you, Alberta. You've done real good.
Well, there's a lot of criminal lawyers.
Yeah, tons. 36 pages. But yeah, I wonder.
Okay, and just Crown Prosecutor's Office practicing. What the hell?
What do you mean? It's a crown prosecutor. They're acting as a crown.
So this one is practicing corporate government. This is one of the people you're going to go up against if 100% criminal. Limited scope retainers offered? No.
Right. 100% criminal. That's all they do. So that is a fine example of what I'm saying. If you want a good lawyer, find a lawyer that just or a law firm that just does one type of law, or no more than 3, because they'll specialize in those areas. But if you get a law firm that does everything, they're total garbage. Immediately pass them up, because they only know a little bit of everything and nothing about one thing. So this would be an excellent law firm to take if it's 100% criminal and that's all they do. That's what you would want. Very good stuff. Oh boy, I just seen something. Ed, look at a private chat. Don't put it up, but tell me if you see what I see in there or not. Just a yes or no.
No, it came up blank.
It came up blank. Ah, okay. Go to the lawyer direct. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. But yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
No, it was blank.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Don't worry about it. We'll see this after. But yeah, it's insane. Insane. But you got to be careful, guys. This is all I'm just trying to say. How you can find proper lawyers, how you can find good lawyers. Um,
What else can you? How do you find out what cases they've done, or settlements, or if
well,
they've won or
here
lost?
I'll show you. I'll show you, Ed. You can do stuff like, hold on, I'll send you a link. You can bring it up.
So what we're trying to do here is explain to people the basics of what you got to do, and hopefully you get a decent lawyer and your case goes well and you win if it's justified and the guy's straight shooter. And but remember, they work for you, so whatever you want done. Mosquitoes are slow tonight. What's wrong with these guys? Look,
I don't know. They're really slow. I don't know what's going on.
well,
What the hell? Supreme Court of Canada isn't showing certain files. What's going down here?
yeah, Carney's on holidays, so
Here. This is how you would do it. So, and since this is all the rage going on, this would be actually perfect. And there you go. Boom. Politics. Sweeping weapons ban. There you go.
where'd you find this article?
What's that?
Where'd you find this?
Tell you, when you're good lawyers and they do a lot of good work, you can find almost every lawyer out there. And it's on the iPolitics website there, Ed. I wish I knew this guy. I don't know him, but hopefully one day I'll get to meet him. But this is a really good lawyer. I've seen a lot of his work. I followed a lot of his work. But yeah, they've done a lot of interesting things. And there's even more. There's like Toronto Police, where, again, firearms is a very good lawyer when it comes against government. If you're having problem with government, be it municipal, provincial, federal, doesn't matter, conservation authorities, whatever it might be, set a lot of precedents in case law. That's how you can find a good lawyer out, Ed. You should be able to search their name, and you should be able to find a lot of their wins and losses. I've found a lot of lawyers that aren't too good. They're pretty shady just by punching in their names and seeing certain things. It's pretty crazy out there.
Well, that was a cabinet order. It wasn't passed in Parliament, eh?
Yeah, but it wasn't proper. You know, they used the section of the criminal code that they used. It didn't meet the threshold, so it shouldn't have been done that way. So it was improper. And the more, I don't know if you've been following this case from the start or not, and I don't mean to insult the Chief Justice. I don't know if they are still the Chief Justice or not, but it kind of reminds me of the Cowton case in BC, that they had a family law lawyers hear the case where they know nothing. This is not even their area of practice. So you've seen a pure activist ruling come out of it. Well, this is kind of the same way. I'm not using this to demean or cut down the judge. But they had said themselves at the proceeding, by their own words, that they knew nothing about firearms. They don't know anything. So, is that the proper judge to have in that arena at that point in time? And again, not cutting the judge down or anything, but and before they were the position they were at, I believe they were involved in the police service, maybe a chief or something to do with firearms back then. I can't remember, so I don't want to say. But even back then, they had no knowledge of firearms. So this is the problem with our system. How do they get these positions? And I only say it's a problem because if you don't have the knowledge, like how do you get in there? I don't know. And it's kind of brings me full circle back to our legal system as far as provincial offenses go, because, and again, I'm not insulting anyone. I want to make that clear. I'm not insulting any judges or anything, but to me, in my opinion, I think there needs, at least there needs to be some overhauling of our legal system, our courts, our provincial offenses courts for sure, because there's no requirement to have any legal background to become a justice of the peace. And to me, that's pretty scary. And why it's so scary is let's say in criminal court, okay? In criminal court, when you're at trial, it's going to be by a judge. It'll never be by a JP, Justice of the Peace. It'll be by a judge. And a justice, sorry, let me use the proper words. But in a criminal setting, you have to prove yourself, the Crown has to prove you to be beyond reasonable doubt guilty. So in defending you, you cast doubt. So if there's doubt cast, they cannot seal a conviction. So there's mens rea, actus rea. So the criminal mind, the criminal act. So they have to prove that that's, your intent. That's what you meant to do it, and that you did do it, and you had the criminal mind to do it. So if you cast doubt, then one or the other fails, or they both fail. Regardless, if either fail, it's a fail. That's it. They can't get a conviction. So the problem here and I'm not speaking criminal now, I'm talking provincial offenses. Oh, and by the way, sorry, let's go back to criminal. In criminal, the onus is on the Crown 100% to prove that you're guilty, okay? There's no onus on you. You're viewed as being innocent until proven guilty. Now let's go to a provincial offenses setting. And this needs to be corrected, because just on this fact alone, to me, provincial offenses courts are unconstitutional. How nobody's challenged it is beyond me. But in provincial offenses, you are guilty until proven innocent. You're not, the onus, and the way I say that, the way I just said it, is because of the fact the onus is 100% on the defendant to prove that they are not guilty. So the onus goes on the defendant 100%, whereas in criminal, it's 100% on the Crown. So you're being viewed as being guilty before you even have a trial.
Well, how do you think that's what makes it unconstitutional?
Because you have a right to defend yourself. You are to be viewed as innocent until proven guilty. Now,
where does it say that?
Read it up. I don't know where the hell it is. I haven't looked at it in a long time. But the fact of the matter is this. That in itself is unconstitutional, in my opinion, to me. Now, The other problem, and this is where I have an issue with a justice of the peace having no legal background. At least if they had legal background, okay. But they have no legal background. Not, I shouldn't say that. Let me rephrase that. Not all of them have a legal background. How's that? So when you appear in provincial offenses court and you're in front of a JP, it's like fighting the crown and fighting the judge at the same time. Or the JP, not the judge. Sorry, again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it's like fighting them both because you have the crown who's trying to prosecute you, and then you have a JP who has to take direction from the crown in prosecuting you and coming to a decision. So, and why is that? Because the crown is a lawyer with legal background, whereas the JP is not, and good chance they possibly have no legal background.
Or limited legal background. Very limited.
None. Some have zero.
I got nailed for a careless driving about 40 years ago. Same circumstances. I couldn't believe I got convicted. But it is what it is. Wasn't that bad. My insurance was only like $10,000 a year for 3 years. Wow.
Well, hey, let me give you a better example. So one day I was representing my good buddy in traffic court, and we were sitting there, and while we were waiting to go up, and this is over those fucking stupid speed cameras. So while we were waiting to go up, the JP in the courtroom that day stands up after like 5-6 cases or so. And he says, look, there's no defense to these tickets, because there was all these people fighting the tickets, all right. There's no defense to these tickets, and there's no previous jurisprudence otherwise. So there's no defense. So, of course, we get up, and the first things out of my mouth, which I probably shouldn't have said, was, we have previous jurisprudence right here. So I just proved him a liar, and for making that statement. And so he was pissed as it was right off the hop. I handed it to the crown. I handed it to the clerk to give to the judge, and one to the clerk for the court. And as I was questioning my defendant, and the judge fucking cuts him off, kicks him out of the jury, out of the stand. Completely illegal. Cannot do this whatsoever. Threw him out. Then starts an argument with me, and then goes and makes this ridiculous, without any proof whatsoever, ruling saying that the vehicle wasn't properly maintained or something, which wasn't the case in point at all. And then I bring up the constitutional issue. At any point in time, people, when you're in front of a court and you bring up a constitutional issue or a constitutional challenge. Hi, Val from Arizona. Nice reach. So once they do that, they're supposed to, they're supposed to stop the proceeding, and then you have to bring the application. Well, this judge says, no, too bad. You should have brought a notice. And no, I should not have. Because victim surcharge in Canada is unconstitutional. It's been proven as such already. You can even go here. This is what pisses me off. And I also try to get people who had Rebel Media's lawyers, the lawyers they had got to help people during COVID. I even told them, it's victim surcharge is unconstitutional. And they wouldn't do it. So for whatever reason, I don't know, but it's really a shame, because that would have been an extra awesome point in time to bring about that it being unconstitutional, and that would have been a way to get rid of it, because a victim surcharge is actually what do they call that? Let me get this right. A victim surcharge is actually a double punishment. So
You put the link in private chat.
you're getting charged. Yeah, hold on.
I don't see
It's
it.
cruel and unusual punishment. That's it, people. Sorry about that. So I'll throw this up for you in the chat. But the problem is, when you're getting, and this is the problem, so you need some rich guy to bring this kind of a fight ahead. So if there's any philanthropists that want to fund someone to do it, or if you just got a shit ton of money, you don't know what to do with it, you want to have some fun, here's a way to do it. Because, you know, even though it's been found to be unconstitutional, you'll see they still do it. And this is a big problem we have in Canada, that they continue to do this stuff. So when they do this stuff, it's a double penalty, because let's say you get a fine and then you're getting nailed again. You're getting punished a second time through the victim surcharge. And who the hell is the victim in a speeding ticket? You know, there's only one victim, and that's the driver. You got government reaching into your pocketbook and stealing your money. Taxation's theft, absolutely. Victim surcharges are also thefts, in my opinion. So it's double dipping, and they shouldn't be doing that. None of these courts should have a victim surcharge, and that's my opinion. But it's also the Supreme Court of Canada's opinion, all right?
There it is.
The problem is the fact that, you know, Ed, you get a fucking ticket. It's $80, and you get whacked with a victim surcharge, comes out to 100 and whatever the hell. So what happens is, it's easier for you to pay $100 and something for your fine, instead of turning around and, you know, fighting a constitutional battle that can cost you anywhere from $50,000, $80,000 to save a fine of $100 and something bucks. That's the trap. That's how these provincial offenses and stuff keep it going, because the fines are so low, it's easier just to pay it and go.
This was done under Harper, right?
What's that?
This was brought in under Harper.
You mean the victim surcharge?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Harper done a lot of bad things. Actually, Harper is the one who got rid of trespassing from the criminal code. So thank that rat for doing that. And also, remember during COVID and the SNC Lavalin scandal, where everybody was after Trudeau, and there was some 200 and something private prosecutions laid against Trudeau because the police wouldn't arrest him, and they all got thrown out. You remember that?
Actually, SNC Lavalin was before COVID.
It was okay, so just before COVID, then, I guess. But it was Trudeau in power at the time, and you remember everybody brought private prosecutions against him, right?
Yeah.
Private charges. They all got thrown out by the Crown, and the only reason why it all got thrown out the Crown was because Harper made the change where the Crown attorney can take over your private prosecution and throw it out without any reason needed. So this was Stephen Harper in the Conservative Party of Canada making things so they would be protected because they know what's coming down the pipeline. So they would be protecting themselves from any accountability or charges.
Well,
Now,
tyrants be tyrant, eh?
yeah. So I had private prosecution with drug dealers that I caught the NRP in bed together with them, and they were covering them. I brought the private prosecution. The Crown took it over and just threw it out for no reason. The judge was pissed. He said he was going to take a couple of hours. He'd recess so he could research everything. And then he came back, and after researching it, he said that the Crown was correct. They don't need a reason. They can just take it and throw it out for nothing. Maybe they don't like you, Ed, and they don't want you to get justice, so fuck you, get thrown out. And that's what they done with me. Word of advice for anybody who's going to attempt a private prosecution: don't be me. I didn't know better back then. I didn't have all of my legal experience, any legal training or anything like that. This is before I got my diploma or anything. But at that point, if they do this, you should bring a constitutional challenge to the legislation itself where Harper made that change, because it's denying you access to justice, and that's a big no-no. And Ed, we just had a court ruling from the Supreme Court of Canada again, where government cannot write legislation that gives them immunity. Like, as I said, remember, all through COVID and everything, pharmaceutical companies, the politicians, they do not have immunity. And I already had case law on that. This, again, just backs it up once again. Do not listen to anybody telling you that they are immune from everything, because they are not. And you imagine you could give them carte blanche to have anybody murdered that they wanted to. So that's a big no-no.
All right. So, Northern Travesty, if you're watching, there you go, buddy. You just don't know yet. Dig into it. And if anybody knows Norm Travesty, send them a copy of the show and tell them to pay attention at 1 minute 16 for a couple minutes. An hour and 16 minutes. Oh boy. Had he only known, eh? Had I only known.
Well, Hashem, when it comes to anything to do with legislation, it's always the king, the crown. I shouldn't say always the king, because when it was a queen, it would have been the queen. But since it's a king now, it's the king. That's who would be defending.
Okay, any more tips for people that are looking to hire a lawyer?
No, that's about it. I think we covered it pretty good. Just make sure whatever province you're in, always just type in law society and then the name of the province. If they have a law society, which I'm probably sure they do, it'll pop up, and they should have some method or way of being able to get in there. So, but always, 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 always meet in person. Never exchange money until you've signed that retainer.
And
Background, research.
Hopefully it's with a real lawyer, not some scam artist.
Well, scam artists would get caught at that point because they don't want to meet you in person, all right? Just remember that.
Okay. Guys, I can't stress this enough. November 9th and 10th, Ottawa, Supreme Court building, property rights, gun rights. Why would you go to that, Stefanos? That protest or show up at that court case?
That's a court case on that date, is it not?
Yep.
I'm sure I'll be a spectator in that. I would absolutely go, because it's private property rights, and it's your rights that are being infringed on. And if the government says no more pen for you, Ed, or no more car, or you don't own your home, is no different than the firearms being stripped from all Canadians. You have no ownership at that point.
So I can't stress how important this is. We need millions of people to show up. Media is not going to advertise this. You're hearing it here, November 9th, 10th, Ottawa, Supreme Court building. This is it. This is to hear the appeal of whether or not the gun ban will stand or get thrown out.
Yeah, it's the unlawful gun grab from the government trying to strip Canadians of all their firearms. Ridiculous stuff. It's private property rights, is what it is, because a firearm. Ed, who does your firearm belong to?
All my guns belong to the lake that they're at the bottom of.
Oh, they fell in a fishing trip.
No, it's a hunting trip, but they all fell in.
Duck hunting.
Canoe tipped over.
That sucks. But yeah, that's what happens. Your firearms, as your car, as your house, as your pen, belong to you. Nobody else bought them. Nobody granted you permission to buy them. It's yours. And if you haven't noticed, and if you've been watching us before COVID, 2019, 2020, when COVID came in, you'll see I've repeatedly told you that the United Nations Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 relies solely, and the UN relies solely, on our private property rights and our constitutional rights to be extinguished in order for the UN to be able to take over Canada. And this is what we're seeing, pure communism, which the United Nations is a Marxist body of unelected bureaucrats trying to take control of the world. So no different than Hitler's plan way back when. It's just been taken over since 1946 by the UN.
Well, it's actually close to what
Instead
happened.
of being one person, it's all the countries in the world trying to be unified and taking over for a one world government. So that's what it is.
But Stefanos, you own nothing and be happy.
I'm happy because I own nothing. How's that?
You're
Except
there.
my beer. That keeps me happy. This will keep me happy. I own the beer.
No, you don't own the beer. You rent the beer because you're going to go to the washroom. Goodbye, beer.
That's true. It's temporary. You're right, Ed. Freak. Damn it.
Guys, share this out. November 9th and 10th. I know where I'm going to be. Will you be joining us in the millions? And I mean millions. Nobody's hearing about this. They do it during the second week of the deer hunting season to make sure nobody shows up. If you want to hunt the second week, go ahead. Chances are it's going to be the last time you ever hunt. Think about that.
Absolutely right, Ed. Absolutely.
Share this out, guys. See you later.